Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Greg.
Morning.
We're talking to microphones if you're talking. This class is actually here because of Cheryl.
Cheryl, yeah.
You're so welcome.
Okay.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Cheryl asked me a question last week that said, how do I get a list of, I'm going to start farming my neighborhood for the first time ever. How do I get a list of people in my neighborhood and address? I said, let's talk about Pinpoint. We started looking at Pinpoint. I started learning a little more and I started doing some things. And so I decided maybe we ought to have this class to remind people what the Digital Marketing Center is capable of. So that's why we're here. Thank you, Cheryl. Oh, and Lance is leaving already?
No, Cheryl's trying to find the right chair to get us by.
I
Cheryl,
know.
you need to get a buddy.
I'm sorry. I don't want
So let me make sure. Erica, can you see the screen? And Ray's on now too.
Yeah, I can see the screen say your shared screen.
Yeah, now we've got something to blackmail Erica with. The Digital Marketing Center is inside of the greenhouse. Now, there's good and bad about everything in the greenhouse. And one of the bad, in my opinion, is they have this tool over here that does the same thing that this tool over there does. So sometimes I show you what I think is the easiest tool to use. And we spent more time in the social tool than we have the Digital Marketing Center. However, the digital tool relies on a sync to Facebook to work properly. And that's been down since Meta changed its algorithms like a month and a half ago. And then it'll work and then it'll go down. So this is, there are things in here right now in the marketing center that work better than the social media. And it does more stuff. So we're going to talk about that. In the greenhouse, once you're logged in, always remember, log in first, click on marketing, and it has this thing here that says digital marketing. Click on it. And it comes down to digital marketing overview. And that brings up this, which tells you all about the various tools that is in there, except Zap's going away. Actually, next Wednesday or Thursday, Zap will be completely gone, and the BHG website will now be the new Moxie version. At any rate, to get to the BHGRE Marketing Center, we click Learn More and access the Marketing Center.
They don't make it easy to get there.
Can
You know, it's like going through several different gates to.
Can you go back one step, please?
Sure. Click on Marketing. Go to the BHG Marketing Center or Digital Marketing, either one. Click on it and it comes to this page, BHG Marketing Center. Now, for all of you, you know, a shortcut for the future, you can come up here and make this a favorite by clicking the little star here. And that then becomes one of my favorite pages, and I can get to that from the dashboard. But let's just keep going for now because I want to teach the tools more than the other stuff. Access the Marketing Center. And I'm going to log in now, although in the future, once you've logged in a time or two, you don't get that screen anymore. And I agree, they've got too many steps for you to go through. This is the Marketing Center. And one thing you're going to notice right here at the top is I had started several things, and it's going to have a little button up there that says pick up where you left off if you didn't finish something. So that's kind of a shortcut that says click here and I'm going back to where I was. But I want to talk about all of these first, then we'll look at some things. First off, in the middle, you will get properties. And you can search the listings right here. You can look at just your listings, which in my case, I have none. Or you can look at the office listings. I think you might be able, nope, that's it. And so what happens is Cheryl puts a listing in the MLS, it pops up here allowing me to advertise Cheryl's listing. Either by producing a flyer, by having an open house, or putting it on Facebook, if I want to do social media, or some other things. Now, legally, as a brokerage, I have given you all permission to advertise everybody's listings in the company, legally. Morally, I would suggest you call the other agent and say, hey, I'd like to post your listing on my Facebook. Or jot them a note or text them. I don't think anybody in the company is going to say, no, don't do it. And I've had Brenda say point blank in a class, you all can advertise my listings anytime you want to. You don't have to ask. But I think it's wise, or at least courteous, to let the other agent know you're doing it. If it's a phone call that happens or whatever, you'd rather be them armed than not. So those listings, again, they all come in from the MLS. That's one advantage of having this nice marketing center. We'll come back to that in a minute.
My page wasn't loading.
What?
My page wasn't loading with the listings.
Not at all? What checkbox do you have?
I had my listings.
You have active listings. Are they new?
Yeah,
Like yesterday?
like this morning.
They won't be in there yet.
Okay.
24 hours.
Well, it's up on your screen.
It is?
It was, yeah. Under office listings.
Really? Get with me after and we'll go look at that.
That's right, no problem. It's on office listings.
We screwed some things up when we combined everybody to one office, and not all of them are straight yet, so I'm still working on that. They have recommendations for you here. Do you want to do a standard branding you as an agent postcard? Do you want a social media post? And do you want a banner? And the reason you're seeing those is in here, you can make flyers for properties, or you as an agent. You can make postcards. You can make banners, email headers, backgrounds for your social media pages or social posts. We're going to look at all of those in a minute. I just want to go around the page for a second. And again, some of these work exceptionally well. Some of these work lesser well. Some of the flyers that you will see, and I pointed out something at the corporate yesterday that I found doing this. The flyers that you will see in here, you will have like 3 and 4 pages or properties, or 3 or 4 pictures for one house, and everything you put in the MLS, you can use here. So if you put all the interior pictures and you want the outside not to show, but you want the kitchen, we'll show you that in a minute. So the idea of the whole MLS, I want you to know, is it imports all the pictures, the descriptions, the prices, and those kind of things to auto-populate on some flyers for you. Pinpoint is a tool I do want to cover, particularly for Ms. Cheryl. The media center is where a lot of photos from BHG are uploaded. Or if you want to use a photo that you've taken of Wichita or something else and you want to upload it to a flyer, you're allowed to upload your own pictures in there and they'll store them on here for you. Testimonials. We do have testimonials now through Better Homes and Gardens, and they will populate a social media shareable place for your testimonials in here. By BHGRE, I probably won't go into today. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to order magazines, if you want to order cookbooks, if you want to order things like that, you can buy from BHGRE. And finally, the social media tool, we've gotten through a number of ways before, and I probably won't spend much time in there because that's the tool that's broken with Facebook right now. Although I did talk to Elizabeth yesterday and they've made progress, so hopefully.
What is broken on Facebook right
In the social media tool, you used to be able to take a post, click post it to Facebook, and it would go out there for you. And you could schedule them to go on there. And that's broken. And that's because Meta has cut all of their employees way back. And they're very, very slow at answering questions right now.
So with that being said, Greg, you talked about testimonials or whatever you can share. Is it just the social tool that's not working, or if I wanted to post something from a testimonial or a new listing, can I post from here? Do I have to create it and then save it and then put it?
Yes, you have to create it, save it, post it. Okay, and we'll look at that in a minute. But Pinpoint is one tool I definitely wanted to look at. So right now, we magazine sold to Dot Dash Meredith. And Dot Dash Meredith is a very large media company. I mean, really, really large. One of the biggest in the world. So for example, People Magazine, there's dozens of that database of combined consumers is now available to you through Pinpoint. So as I showed Cheryl and as I'll show you in a minute, I can make a big circle, I can make a little circle. I can say I only want first-time buyers and so on, and get a list of people that I can direct mail to that I've never met before. Now, the downside of this is the first time you use it, you have to pay them to print the postcards. But they're somewhere between 50 cents and $1 printed. And then as soon as you've done that, you get the entire list with all the addresses to use any other way you want to use after that. They will point out to you that those come out in a PDF rather than an Excel file. But with Adobe, I can export that to an Excel file, so that's no problem. If we were going to start a new search, and I could put a starting location, let's say, let's go with the old office address, 1720 North Webb, and it starts to populate. And you can see if I leave this at 3 miles, I get 4,000 people. Well, I don't want that because that's way too much for me. I'm going to go down to 1 mile. Well, that's still too much for me. I can now come in and zoom in. And where is the little draw?
Button that says start
Drawing. Thank you.
drawing.
So from here, I can zoom in even farther. Say, I just want this little area right here on the other side, if I can grab on the other side of Webb Road. And we're just gonna go right there, and I'm finished drawing. And that takes me down to 69 people. Do you see how small you can make this or how big?
That is so cool.
Okay. So then I'm going to, I may have to find, edit drawing. Here's my location. Am I just not seeing a
Next.
continue?
Because I did this pre-COVID, so I'm confident.
Okay, so then it says, what stage of life are these people in? Well, there's nobody here in a first-time buyer. So if that's true, I know I don't need my message to be first-time buyer. They have empty nester, move up. I can pick everybody. I can take a second home buyer. I can go for luxury. And I'm just going to lead that with everybody because I don't want to mess with it. Then I can look at income level. Well, do I want people in an income level of this? More? Do I just want to take them off because it's only 69? Sure, why not? Housing. Well, did they live in a less than $100,000 house, 100 to 199, and so on? Again, I've only got 69 people, so I'm going to take them all.
If you don't check, does it If you don't check any, will it just do all of them?
I think so, because I've got 69 here. So if I click just this one, it's gonna take that down to 3, okay? But I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at 69, and then I gotta find my continue button again.
Assuming they haven't changed. Greg, I have one. I used Pinpoint pre-COVID when we actually had to try to work on selling it off.
Uh-huh.
So
Lynn,
We're passing around a card.
I'm assuming it hasn't changed, but that's been from a few years ago.
purchase.
It's very much,
It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be property centric. It could be like, hey, I live in the neighborhood and I'm
exactly.
gonna start stalking you.
So I'm gonna go to continue,
Yes. So the same as it has.
and I'm gonna name this list as Greg, I'll just leave it there. I don't want to change it. You can name it whatever you want. And I have some choices here. I can create a marketing flyer, I can create a postcard, or I can place order. I'm gonna go to create postcard. And here's my choices. 8.5 by 11 just listed, just sold, a larger postcard, a small postcard. And since I can't see from this little doohickey down here, and I don't have to do postcards if I don't want to, but let's take this one just for fun. Now here's the just listed front template. I'm going to pick that. I can then go with the standard or the standard brand with a photo. And I can choose the profile. Well, I choose profile because I'm the broker. I can help you with these. If we go with choosing a listing here, then all the listings that I told you earlier were in there, except for Lance's. Pull up here. And let's go with one down here I like, our $1 million listing. Pulls up. Where there's a pencil, I can change the name. So I could type in something else other than expect better.
Okay, real quick,
Mm.
what if we have the listing agreement signed,
Mhm.
but we're not gonna make it active for 2 or 3 days to get all of this in? How do you extrapolate the information to put it in here?
I don't know that it can be done until it's in the MLS.
Well, there's a pencil right there on the picture.
But bear with me a second, because I can go into the image and I can replace it.
Okay,
And I guess you can, right at the top, it says
Upload image.
upload image. Come on, go.
Yeah,
away.
but those are still from the MLS.
Yes, but I'm saying right here is a button that says upload image.
From your computer.
So now I can drop a file in
Okay.
here and put in whatever I want. But remember I told you that all the listings come in from the MLS? Well, let's say that I want, oh, there's one I saw yesterday of the back of the house with the lake or the deck could be nice. Let's put that one in. And it puts the image in there for me.
Oh, that's nice.
Then I want to go to the back page.
can you do this pinpoint for everywhere in the United States?
Yes. However, advertising your listing to New York City may not work unless you've got a really extraordinary listing. The back options, we get to choose our theme. So that's one theme. That's another theme. Team or individual. Well, we're going to go with that. Now, once that pops up, you can change and write this kind of stuff. So maybe as Cheryl says, you don't want to do a listing. Maybe you're going to put a picture of the house in the front. And then on the back, you're going to write, these are the kind of houses that I sell on a routine basis, whatever you want. And then when you're done, you're finished editing. We're doing the small postcard. And it says, great, are you ready to get that mailed? Space sorter, I think, is where I go next. We want that one mailed to, choose the list I want. Mail to the pinpoint list. And I would pick out the list that I have in there. That's it. It will typically cost between $17 and $95. Add to order. Send a copy to myself. Yeah, I want to see it. And I got to say where the address is going to be and all that. Let me not send a copy to myself,
Or order.
just so I can get an idea of what the price is. Mailing class, I'm going to do first class, UV coating. I don't have a choice but to do it. It will cost me $57 to mail that to 69 people.
To me, that's amazing.
And
That's a
I
good
think-
value.
I think when I did it, because this listing was in Augusta, so I think
my phone.
Here, this one's on.
I think when I did my listing a couple years ago it was in Augusta, and I don't know, I didn't send it to everybody in Augusta, but I think in that
Radius.
subdivision up there, and I think it was between $50 and $70. I mean, that isn't where we got our buyer, but I thought it was worth a shot.
It makes the seller happy too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and especially if you're trying to do a geo farming within a location. Like Cheryl wants to do a couple of blocks around her house. That makes a lot of sense because once I have the list, then I can do other mailing. And this isn't a bad thing too. I can come back and have it printed and posted and all that always. But if this was limiting me to the way I wanted to build a flyer or so on, let's still have the list that I can use in other ways. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Well, I was wondering about the first class. Do we have a bulk mailing number?
We do. And this was first class because of the kind of card they're building. Some of them, they have standard
Okay.
mail, which would be a little cheaper.
Okay.
But we also have a bulk mail thing here. I think you have to take 200 over. Does that sound right?
That's
I
right.
think it's a
And
minimum.
in the same zip code with what they
Not in
want.
the
but-
same zip code.
In the same
It
area.
needs to be in the greater Wichita area.
Right. So you can do it that way, but again, the power is, and thanks to Cheryl for spurring me on this, she was talking to a company that wanted how much per month?
Oh, man.
1,200?
You get it was $59 a month. Redx,
Red X was the company.
you could get 2,000 addresses a month for like $60 a month. And I don't need 2,000 a month. I need 69 once. So, yeah, so you went and found this, which is perfect, what I need.
So, and we could proceed to check out and do all that stuff, but for now, I think you guys get the concept. Is there any questions about Pinpoint?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go back to the marketing center then.
It's not letting Tammy order. It's- I wanted to order this, I don't have that.
You haven't chosen a theme yet. I'll bet. And I don't know. I promise I'll look at it with you in a minute. It-
That's not friendly.
I'm not disagreeing, but for the price, you know,
Right.
you know,
Yeah,
once you learn it, it's not so bad, but it can be problematic. So let's look at some other things that we can do in here. Let's look at our properties for a minute and let's search all the listings. Lance, is this first one yours?
That's standardized, yes.
Okay, let me click on that. And it's saying, okay, now that you chose a property, there's some things that we would recommend you could do. You could do flyer, postcards as recommended. You could view all the flyers, view all the postcards. And then there's a social media post as well.
okay, but don't we, Don't we have something with a company that automatically posts?
Yes,
That's the video.
Okay. Thank you.
but some people like to do a variety of ways, so. Yes, with the company, we as a company take all of your listings and we make a YouTube video out of them and we post them to Facebook automatically without you doing anything. If you want to go to our Facebook page, you can share that onto your own page anytime you want. On the other hand, I had a call from Miranda yesterday who was trying to remember how to do some things that she says, oh yeah, now I remember, and she went and did it. But let's look at this social for a minute, because it's all kind of the same process. So once I have this, I want to edit it. Okay, I've got this listing, this profile. Maybe I don't want the sign header to say coming soon. I can either type in whatever I want or choose from some of their drop down. So maybe I want to say that this sale is now pending.
Been on the market 2 hours.
Yeah. And what's going to happen is that sign's going to change to sell pending.
Wow.
I can change the name and number down here. Now, here's something that does bother me about this that I want you to be careful of. On this post, it doesn't have an address and it doesn't have a price. So when you go to post it, you don't have to put Better Homes and Gardens, but please put the price, put the address on your post. But if we are ready now, if we're done editing this social media post, and by the way, let me go back. I don't see a back button, so I'll have to hit that. Let me edit that for a minute. Edit. If I don't see, maybe I don't want that as my primary picture. Maybe I want to put one of the other pictures from the MLS. I can choose whatever I want. It's social media. I don't have to put the outside picture. The MLS rule is the #1 picture has to be the outside of the house. When you're advertising it, you don't have to live by that. So I'm going to make that my kitchen picture.
It's not my copy.
All right. You like me.
Only one on your pants. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And when you're done here, I'm done editing, I can download it, as you saw from that button up there, or this one will work with your social media posts, unlike the other one that won't. Now then, I can tell you that going across here, I better already be logged into Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, anything like that, if I want it to post. And I think I am here. So if I put Facebook, it's going to open up a pop-up, let me log in, I'm not. Then it's going to say, do you want to say something about your post? And you say, yes. 1234 somewhere street, $250,000, whatever. Yes, ma'am.
Is it a link they're going to provide or they do the whole post?
No, it posts exactly as we saw it over here. And you just write the post at the top.
Or you can download it to your computer and post it to you
Indeed.
once you're already logged in.
Okay. Now then, let's delete that. You can download it and you can customize your social post as well. And I think that just brings me back here. Yep. Well, I'm losing primarily.
It is. I'm wondering what's wrong with this house. 320 for all of that. It's a nice.
Basement's about, no, I'm kidding. It's, I don't. So that kind of at least covers a little bit about what this section is. Testimonials is very, very straightforward. Testimonials are, if you have reviews that have been returned back in, you will be able to set this up, which we haven't seen any activity. I can hook it up to MoxieWorks. It will tell me how to hook it up to MoxieWorks. You can choose your featured and so on. So go in there, take a look, see, follow it. It's not that hard. But I want to go across here a little bit. Flyers. Create a new flyer. I have a single listing. I have multiple listings. I can do the brand tiers. Brand tiers would be like if I have a distinctive home and I don't know how to get a distinctive type flyer, I have a few I can choose from. Now, we don't do urban here because we don't have high rises. We do have waterfront. But really all that is a little blue thing. Almost everything we would have here as a brand tier is going to be distinctive because if you're on the water here, you're in the price range that you're probably distinctive. So if we go to distinctive just for a minute, and you print these in Office, you're going to use a whole bunch of my black ink.
That's good looking for sure.
It is. So we're going to choose our listing. We're going to do these guys again.
Oh, because it doesn't qualify.
Okay,
You better go your $1 million one.
Yeah.
I'll go with it back to the $1 million one, but understand this. When you're trying to decide what distinctive, on the distinctive page, it's a zip code tool. It will tell you the price. If you don't know how to do that, we'll look at it in a minute. And then you tell Tracy or I it's distinctive when we mark it for you so that it comes up here. Our $1 million listing, I know is distinctive. And so that keeps you from mismarketing something. How's that sound? We're good with that. It has a property description from the MLS. We save it. We have a title we can change. We've got pictures that we can change. We've got the profile image, which would be me and my wife. And we can rewrite everywhere there's pencil along here. Got it? Okay. Finish. Now, again, I can order this to be printed because they'll print them for me. They're happy to. But I can also download my flyer so I can print it right here in the office. Here's some other things you might want to think about. Postcard, the postcard, my listing. I'm not sure what that one is, but you can see this is kind of a, hey, you got a listing up, you want to do something with it, you want to go on. I'm going to skip postcards. Banners, I'm not sure I saw much of a use for, honestly. If you want to click in there, please do. Emails. I want to create a new email document. Well, what this is going to do is create a header that you can then put in your email, or you can make it. So down at the bottom of the page, it says emails, and you click on it. And it's going to take and create an email header if you want that you can put in all of your emails in Outlook. You could put it at the bottom as a signature. And there's a variety of ones that they can have in here that you can choose from. So let's do a holy crap one here.
It's in the marketing center.
At the very bottom of the page, there are several choices, flyers, banners, so on. There's one that says email.
Where is the marketing?
Greenhouse.
In the greenhouse under marketing, about halfway down the page. Says BHGRE Marketing Center. So from here, it's got my picture in there already. I can rewrite that. I don't know that I'm a responsible broker, but I'm the one in charge.
You're next on the board.
And then you finish editing it, or you can download it from there, and I'm going to save it. And then I can download my email header, download it as a PDF, a PNG, or a JPEG.
What is a PNG, please?
It's just a different kind of JPEG. It's a picture something or other graphic, PNG graphic.
I've never heard
Yeah. The difference between a JPEG and a PNG for most of us is, in a JPEG, the background will always be white. In a PNG, the background can be clear. So if you have a different color behind it, it will. That's the biggest use. Then customize your email, we're back here, but then you have to upload the picture in your email. But if you are wanting to have an email header and you don't want to pay a company or have, this, that, and the other, that's a good place to get one.
Signatures.
That's kind of what it is.
You could use it as a signature, but it's designed to be a header.
I would just say it at the bottom.
Put it down to the bottom. Yep.
Isn't that cool?
Backgrounds. I don't know why they call these backgrounds, because to me, I would call these a header for your Facebook page, your Instagram, and so on. But they have a general branding one, they have a listing one, or you can design your own. Now, I'm going to tell you, design your own is a waste of your time. Don't do that. But if you wanted if you had a single listing website or landing page, which I'm teaching in a few weeks, you could design a listing landing page header here. Or you could go into the general branding and you could say, oh, homecoming starts with the home. Well, that's kind of, not too bad.
These are gonna be for the banners that you've noticed on Facebook that are at the very top, that are behind your profile picture.
Right.
That's what these are for. For on your business page, it would work really classic.
Right. And so, how do I want to say this? If you have some general graphic arts skills and you know where to find photos and you don't mind playing with them, you probably look at these and say, that's nice, but I can do better. For those who don't want to learn Photoshop or something else, these are kind of nice because I can just change that homemade to whatever I want, save it, and put it on my Facebook page. And it's already picked out a theme with people and I can do it however I want.
Do you just save this to your computer after you?
Yeah, so then I would go download. I would download, say, the JPEG. I put it right onto my computer and then I would upload it to my Facebook from there.
Cool.
Just like that.
Greg, where do you save
And when
all
you
of?
download for Facebook, which one would you choose? There's 3 options. Which one would be the best?
JPEG or PNG would be best. PDF won't work too well. And the only real difference for you guys, since there's no background to make clear here per se, the only real difference is JPEGs are a little bit bigger file than PNGs, but it's not going to matter at all. What'd you search say, Cheryl?
Where do you save all your downloads to?
Wherever you want.
That's my question. Do you do it in the clouds along with just on?
No.
No, I do it right on my computer.
So the way I normally do it is if I'm making a picture to go on Facebook right now, and I really don't care if I ever save it again, I put it on my desktop so it's easy to find. And then when I'm done, I throw it away.
And then what if you were keeping it? How do you keep all of this organized?
Well, I have a folder that's called Wichita. I have a folder that's called 1, 2, 3, 4 somewhere. I have a
And
folder.
you don't back those up anywhere?
But you can go into documents, create a new folder, name it whatever you want.
I do that, I mean, gazillions,
That's-
but when you
yeah.
download stuff,
That's-
I'm wondering if you did, so you have nothing backed up to the clouds or anything?
My computer's backed up all the time, automatically. And we have a server that we save to in Phoenix. That's where our backups are. You guys should back up periodically. The cloud is nice, but it's also slower than your computer. That's a whole different discussion. But in general, when you download something, if you don't select a place, I click down here on this little file folder, you'll see there's a place up here called downloads. And these are the things that have been downloaded to this computer. And you could put, make a new folder in here. Oh, I don't see new up there, so I'd write.
Can't and downloads, you can do it in documents.
Hey, you can do it here.
Oh, there it is.
Folder. Then I could, put it in there, but for the most part, a lot of these photos and things that I'm doing, it's a flyer I'm gonna use, I'm gonna print it. When the listing's gone, I don't want to keep it anymore, those kind of things. Okay. Let's go back to Marketing Center. Backgrounds, social. This one confuses me.
Yeah, we're screwed.
Well, here's why. Your customer satisfaction survey, you can choose down here. I went to social at the bottom. You can choose how you want your customer satisfaction surveys to appear, save on your Facebook page. You can make a homemade agent social post. You can have more across here. The BHG listing social post.
Oh, you got him online, that's why.
Oh, echo. I went into listing social posts. Let me go back there and start over again. If I'm on the design center and the marketing center and down at the bottom, I see these social posts. I wonder why I don't see them up here. But if I click on that and I create a new social post and I go to the distinctive, then I choose profile. Well, it's me. I choose the listing. And I'm going to choose our $1 million one again.
Who's the listing agent on that
Miranda.
Right. Okay. And it's got the address on there and I save it. Then I can change, you know what this says? What if I don't want it to say new listing? I can use their predefined, or I can type in whatever I want. I'm going to put open house just for fun. Update
Actually, she is doing an open house.
this weekend, yeah. Yeah. I can change what it says here. I can change the pictures. Again, maybe I want to do an inside picture because I saw a post the other day. Let's see, how can I say that? I saw a post the other day from an agent who was trying to get new listings. And the agent says, you know what? Everybody just takes an outside picture of their listing, that's it. I'm going to go and take a picture at dusk of your listing, so it'll look much better. Well, it will if the sun's coming in the right way, and it will if you turn all the lights on. It won't if you AI all the lights on, which is what a lot of people do. But to me, I think with all these pictures in here I could choose from, why don't I choose something else to put on the social post? Because people don't live on the outside looking at the front of the house. I want to know what my lifestyle is going to be like. I could choose this listing. I could choose the lake in the back. I mean, if you've got a house with some interesting things, utilize it. And now that I see that in there, I don't like it at all. Oops, I don't like that. So let's go get a picture of the lake. There, that one. And to me, that's a lot more interesting than the front of the house. Maybe it's too dark. I don't know, but you guys get the concept, right?
Pretty slow.
And then you can do the listing status, the title, and all that. Again, when you go to post it, address, price, make sure your name, it's on your page, make sure it's listed by you, the company's already in there. Write that in the comment section. But the big picture is this. Okay, gonna get rid of that. There's some more in social that confuse me.
Still waiting. What were you confused by?
I don't know why some of this isn't up at the top in social, why you have to come down here. And then this confuses the dickens out of me. Oh, it looks good.
Yeah, but I hear a but there.
To fill it all in.
Yeah. There's that.
So when I posted, see, there's all this down here. So then I have to scroll up to see it. And I know how to change the date. And I can change it from one is rental and one is resale. I can change it to new homes. But why do I have two numbers on every line? The only thing I could come up with is the yellow numbers are for the month. And the other numbers that you can't see very well because they're underneath here are in white. And then you would put in
year to date?
the year to date. But there's no legend on any of these that says that. So that's where I kind of went, I wonder about that.
Can you delete
Yeah, but then you have that line going in there. Oh, so let's go back to the marketing center again. Oh, I chose.
Are they comparing month to month or month to a year ago?
You could, but again, because they didn't write a legend in there, they confused me. So, yeah, I think they look pretty enough, and I think they'd be a good social post. You guys, we're gonna have to figure out what numbers you're gonna type in there. So this one, for example,
Can you just do it? We'll just steal yours.
oh, okay, sure.
We'll share it.
So this one again says new homes and rentals. Well, rentals aren't a thing here, so we don't have to worry about it. But you can take the numbers I send you every month, put that in here, maybe rewrite this Greg box and put up there, or maybe here where it says October, put in yellow equals month, this month, October, white equals, whatever you want to do. But that's where I got confused at this one. Let's see if there's anything else in there I want to play with. More customer satisfaction. So, like this free evaluation, or I've sold homes in your area. Again, you could do all of those. More listing stuff. When you win an award, you could put that in there. We kind of custom make them for you here rather than making you do your own. And there are some flyers in here that aren't social that have multiple pages, like 5, 6, 7, or you fold over. So again, this is an introduction to this. This was not trying to give the end all be all. So that's kind of my overview of the marketing center and Pinpoint. Questions, comments?
Just need to go play with that.
It almost
Go
seems
play
it's
with
a little simpler in some aspects than Moxie.
In some, there are parts of Moxie we haven't even touched on yet.
True.
And you might go, ooh, I'll never use this because Moxie does a good job. They've got a tool called Impress. It's a little bit better for your listings, but they aren't as branded. They don't have as much green and the distinctive, but it also will do movies and other things. So you work on it, but I like the simplicity of this, making a flyer for a home, save it, print it. I like that Pinpoint. I can get out the addresses and send them to my neighborhood. Let's say you were, Sherry does Cheryl Hollow. She may not have everybody's address in there. So, and you start looking at income levels and things. It's kind of advantageous. Any other questions about this or comments? Then I'm going to stop the recording. Let's see, no chats. Stop share.
Hi, Ray.
All right, that's the end of this intro.
Can you remind us where we find